Welcome to the Brewery Adventure, where we explore the vibrant world of local breweries and the incredible atmosphere they create. I'm Tim.
And I'm Courtney. If you've ever wondered what makes a brewery more than just a place to grab a drink, you're in for a treat.
In each episode, we'll cover the places making beer, from the cozy corners of neighborhood tap rooms to the bustling energy of larger brew houses.
We are not just talking about the beer. We are celebrating the ambiance, the culture, and the community that make each brewery a unique destination.
So whether you're a regular at your local brew pub or just curious about what's out there, join us as we uncover the magic behind the taps.
Let's embark on the brewery adventure together.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Courtney, good to see you again. I mean, I can see you. No one else can see you.
It's good to see and hear you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Tonight, we are talking about a local brewery that I love. Local to both of us. We both live in the Western Metro of the Twin Cities. And this is local to both of us.
Absolutely. We are talking about Steel Toe Brewing in St. Louis Park.
Yes, Steel Toe Brewing. It's one of my favorites. And it's not just proximity. It's partly proximity. I mean, obviously, it's nice to have breweries close by that I can get to really quickly.
But it's really nice when they're good breweries that you really enjoy going to.
Yeah, and this one is a good brewery, and we'll talk a little bit about their beers as we go forward, obviously, but let's pop open the beers we have.
Yes.
Yeah. Which one did you pick?
Well, I picked the Steel Toe Worn Soul, which is an Worn Soul Imperial Alt.
Yeah.
I think this was a seasonal brew. I don't think it's on tap right now.
Yeah.
But they still had some cans that I grabbed the last time you were there because I've never had this one.
Yeah, I had some of those at home that I bought at one of the local liquor stores, and that was delicious.
Here's hoping for delicious, but also full disclosure, it is 4:30 in the afternoon on a weekday, and this is 9% ABV, so yay.
Yeah, I hope your evening plans are accommodating.
Here we go. I'm going to sip it before I pour it.
Okay.
Oh, that's tasty. I even brought a fancy glass out for this.
I love it. I love that dark color of that one, too. It's nice. Similar to the one that I'm drinking tonight, which is Descent.
Yes.
This is a stout, and it's one of my favorite beers ever. When the craft beer thing kind of reemerged here in Minnesota after the Surly Bill passed, this is one of the first breweries that opened nearby me, and so both my wife and I really fell in love with this beer, Descent.
That was my go-to whenever we went there this winter.
Yeah, it's delicious, and I'm so sad they don't make it year-round. In the summertime, they take a break from it, and I wish they had it year-round. I would drink it year-round. I think other people would.
I would for sure drink it year-round.
Pop that one open, too. Oh, it's got a great smell.
I can taste it from here.
A little bit of caramel, a little bit of coffee notes in it. Delicious.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. So we were just there recently. We were there just days ago.
Yes. Because we need a refresher, obviously.
A refresher. This is a brewery that I have been to. I don't think I could even count the number of times that I've been to Steel Toe. It is so many times.
My first time actually being there was last summer when we had a geocaching event there. And prior to that, I've had Steel Toe beers. I think they're size 7. You know, when you're at a restaurant, you've got this whole lengthy beer list and you're kind of just panicked to make a decision. That beer for the local places around here that serve Steel Toe beer, that was like my go-to. That was the easy pick. If I see it on the list, I know I can get that one and I'm going to like it and it's going to be fine. Yeah.
For IPA drinkers, Steel Toe is a great brewery.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump into a little bit of Steel Toe's history. Like I said, they're in St. Louis Park, Minnesota, kind of right in the middle of St. Louis Park. And it's an industrial area of town. At least most of it is industrial. There's been some turnover. Right next to them now is a very large apartment complex.
A nice looking apartment complex.
Yes. And one of the perks of that apartment complex being built there is they built the apartment building and then right behind it a large parking ramp for the apartment building. And you would think, oh, a large parking ramp right next to your brewery, that's probably not a great thing. It's not the best looking kind of building you can have right
No.
next to you, but it got perked up a lot by local Minnesota artist Adam Turman, very famous Minnesota artist, painted a huge mural all the way across the parking ramp.
It is bright and colorful, and just as soon as you see it, it changes your mood.
It is gorgeous, and it really changed the atmosphere on Steel Toe's patio.
Yeah.
They have Steel Toe has kind of a little covered patio where there used to be a loading dock on the building that they're in. And then as you go out the front of their building, they have a large cordoned off area with, little fences and pallets and things that it's pretty.
Yeah.
But it's kind of out in the front of their building. So it's kind of, a little bit of their parking area that used to be parking area out front. And so that mural just looms large over that area.
It's a great backdrop when you're sitting out there.
I do think it's really cool. When I saw that Turman was painting that thing on there, that is such an upgrade for them. And I don't think they had anything to do with it.
Was it the apartment complex that did
I think the apartment complex wanted it on there. I didn't hear that Steel Toe had anything to do with it. If they did, and someone knows that, you can let us know. But it really did help their patio look a lot better, and so good for them.
I love seeing that when I drive up.
Yeah. So when we go to Steel Toe, I have sat both inside and outside. Inside, they've got kind of a little, as you go in their front door, they have a little bar where they serve the beer from behind that bar, and you can get in a line kind of either end of that bar. There's a few seats in there. You can sit at the bar a little bit, or there's maybe 4 small tables in there, maybe for 2 or 3 people each.
It's cozy.
That area is kind of small, but then you go through another door, and they have a much larger room and many tables in there and a little bench along the wall, and their big logo on the wall. It's a very cool space.
Yeah.
It used to be a loading dock. I mean, but that's one of the things I like about breweries in industrial areas is they kind of lean into the industrial nature of it.
They transform what they have.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've done a good job there. They've got also a little, kind of on the back of that room, another little pretty much separated room, I think, that they rent out. That little space in the back. I wouldn't say it's tiny, but it's a small space.
A little more private.
Have a little more private space if you want. But this time was so nice that we got to sit outside again.
And it was beautiful outside.
It was gorgeous.
I will say that when we were there for my first time last summer, I just remember it being a ridiculously hot day.
Yeah.
And the larger room inside with the most seating was being occupied by a puzzle tournament. So our group had to go outside.
Yeah.
It was in the middle of the summer in Minnesota.
Right.
It, again, incredibly hot, incredibly humid. And I just remember we're all sitting around outside sweating, drinking beer, sweating some more.
Hey, that's when you go get the lighter beer, right? And you sit outside in the heat.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's fine. Totally fine.
Totally.
The brewery history here, it's owned by a couple, Jason and Hannah, and they started brewing beer in their bedroom, which I think that's a unique story.
That's a very unique story.
Most people, it's a basement or a garage or even another building that someone owns. They don't start brewing in their bedroom. And they said because that room had the most constant temperature for fermentation in their house.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it. Boy, the bedroom in my house is not big. I would not be able to fit any brewery equipment in there.
I mean, if this was a path you wanted to go down, you'd have to find a way to make it work.
Yep, and they did go down that path. And when they got serious about brewing, Jason went off to work in the beer industry and got more education in the beer industry. But it was 10 years before
10 years since they decided that this was what they wanted to do, that they made it happen.
Yeah, so we've talked many times about the Surly Bill and how that related to Surly Brewing, how they pushed the state legislature to pass new laws so that we could actually have tap rooms here in the state of Minnesota. And Steel Toe was one of the early ones, at least in the western suburbs, that opened after that bill passed. probably why I like it so much, because it really caught my attention when it opened, because it was something new
And good.
and good. And good. And they've had good beer from the first time that I've gone there until now. They did have an expansion in 2015. I remember when it was just one little side of it looked kind of like it does now, but it was on the other side of the building, and it was just this tiny little space. And then they would let people stand in like their actual loading dock area, because there was nowhere else to be. There was nowhere else to be. And then they took over the rest of this building, kind of the other half of it. And it's much more comfortable now. Now they have seating and space to be there.
Part of their intention, though, has been to remain a small brewery.
Yes.
I think their distribution is limited to maybe just the metro area or maybe just Minnesota, but it's a limited distribution area.
Yeah.
And they don't want to expand and take on new accounts until they know that all of their current accounts are fully stocked at all times. Otherwise, they're not going to grow.
Yes. And that's a different way of going about running a brewery, is just deciding to stay a certain size.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty cool. They're focusing on the beer and what they love doing. And sometimes if something gets too big, it can take the joy out of it, because then it becomes something that just becomes really hard to manage. So I mean, they're enjoying the way it is. And I really like that about this place.
They're consistent.
So what is it about the naming of Steel Toe Brewing? Why is it called Steel Toe Brewing?
Jason has worn steel toe boots for most of his career. And it's kind of their symbol for hard work. So your steel toes might be any kind of shoe, whatever you're wearing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's something you've worked hard, you've earned rewards, and that reward could be a beer.
It sure can be. It sure can be. Today, like you said, it's earlier in the day than we normally record this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So we're starting on the beer a little bit earlier. But that's okay. That's okay.
I mean, I worked hard today. Did you work hard today?
I mean, I worked moderately hard.
You still get a beer for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, can still afford a beer. So here we are.
That's the important part.
Like most breweries, Steel Toe has many things going on their calendar. Like you talked about, they had that puzzle group when we were there that one time that was having a puzzle competition. I don't know if people have ever seen one of those things. I've seen it a couple of times in local breweries now, where people show up and they pay a fee to enter, and then they basically just it's usually pairs of people from what I've seen, usually like two people.
I've seen like
together.
up to groups of 4.
Yeah, maybe 4. And you're given a puzzle, and everybody's given the same puzzle. And then people each take a table, and it's crazy because these people will bring like lights.
Yeah.
And stuff, and magnifiers and stuff like that, depending on their eyesight. I'm sure I would need magnifiers and a lot of light. And it's just kind of cool. It's like another geeky thing that people are into. Like you and I, we have geocaching, we have Munzie. If you've not played either one of those games, you can check out geocaching.com or munzie.com at Munzee, munzie.com. Those are the geeky games that we play. Courtney also has climbing. So these are the kind of things that we're into, but it's just funny when you go to places and you see like, here's a whole nother world that people are into.
I want to get into this puzzling world.
Oh, because you need more things.
I need more
to
things.
Be involved in.
I've seen this puzzling happen, and it looks so intense and it looks so fun.
Yeah. Well, you can talk to my wife, Krista, about that, because I'm sure
she can be my puzzle partner.
She would do it with you. She loves puzzles, and
yes.
When she sits down, when she gets one out at home, it's almost like she can't walk away from it. It has to be done before she can do anything else.
You're taking a trip pretty soon, so I think I'm going to grab Krista, find a puzzle night, which is not going to be hard.
Yeah, absolutely. She'd probably be glad to do that with you.
Yeah, I'm excited now. This is going to be great.
They also run a regular running group out of Steel Toe. It's on Thursday nights. It's a pretty small group from what I hear. My brother-in-law is big in the running community here in the Twin Cities, and he attends that one we talked about at Udapils a couple of episodes ago. But also on Thursday night is one at Steel Toe. It's a smaller group, but he likes it. They'll go out on the trail or in the park next door and run a loop of some kind and come back to the brewery and have a couple of beers. And Steel Toe provides them a couple of the dollars off beers when they come back, which is cool.
It almost makes me want to run. Almost.
Let's see. Munzie, geocaching, climbing, puzzling, running.
No. Running's never going to be on that list.
Your mountain bikes are probably still hanging up on their hooks. So
this is wrong. My mountain bike is currently at a shop getting fixed, and the last
wonderful.
2 nights I've gone out on my cross bike for rides.
Oh, this is good news. Yeah, because I need to get out and do some of those longer geocaching biking things.
I'm ready.
So I noticed that my bike tires are flat, however, and so I need to make sure that the bike still works.
I can help you with that.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And one other thing about Steel Toe.
Super important.
Related to this podcast.
Yes.
When we first got stickers with our logo, our podcast logo on them, Steel Toe is the very first place that we placed a sticker.
Yes.
Ha ha!
Forever will be the first place that had a Brewery Adventure sticker.
Yes. And I think that video is on our YouTube channel. I believe it is. If it isn't,
it might be on Instagram too.
If it isn't, I will make sure that it gets onto the. If it isn't, I'll make sure it gets onto the YouTube channel. But the video of us placing our very first sticker, because at Steel Toe, let's just move to the bathroom review because this kind of leads right into that. So at Steel Toe, they have 2 sets of bathrooms. They had an older set of bathrooms that was part of their. Before they expanded into the rest of the building, they had these other bathrooms, and those bathrooms are like 1 person at a time bathrooms. There's 2 of them. Anybody can use either one. And then they have a newer set of bathrooms that's in kind of that main big room that we talked about.
Yes.
And those are male and female on either side. But leading back to that older set of bathrooms. So if you go into Steel Toe, you go past that bar that I talked about. And on the back of the bar, right at the end of the bar, there's a door that's usually closed. I don't ever see that door propped open. It's usually closed, but you can go through that door. And when you go through that door, there's this very cool hallway that leads to those back bathrooms. And it's just loaded with stickers.
It's really cool just to hang out in that hallway.
Yeah, it's really cool in there just to look at the stickers. And obviously most of them are for breweries, right? From around the Twin Cities and around the country, maybe even the world.
Some of them are just funny stickers.
And
though.
some of them are just funny stickers. There's, some people, like if they're into biking, they'll put a biking sticker up. I mean, there's lots of different stickers. But yeah, so that's where we placed our first sticker, and it was a cool place to do it because that hallway is just really neat.
I went to that back bathroom for the first time.
Yeah.
This last time that we were there. It feels like you shouldn't be opening that door and going down that hallway
It
like
does
you're going
feel
into
a
some
little
private area.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit like that.
But you should go back there.
But you should. You should at least, even if you don't have to go to the bathroom, you should at least experience the sticker hallway at Steel Toe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would recommend.
And if you can find the Brewery Adventure sticker in the sticker hallway at Steel Toe, and you take your photo with your face and our sticker in it, and email us that photo.
Or post it on Instagram and tag us.
Yeah, post that on Instagram and tag the Brewery Adventure. I will mail you your own sticker.
This
How
is a
about
good
that?
idea.
How about that? You got to find that sticker and take your photo with it, though. I need to see your face, your smiling face. And in fact, let's put another caveat on this. I need your smiling face. I also need a beer in your hand. And I need the sticker. And they all have to be in the photo at the same time.
We're asking for a lot.
Hey, we should. I'm going to mail them a sticker or 2. I might send 2. Probably 2.
We'll probably send you some other goodies too.
You never know. Who knows what will be in that envelope? But we'll send it along to you. So you make sure that you get out and find that sticker.
Yes.
And you'll love experiencing that hallway anyway. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the beers at Steel Toe.
Yeah.
Besides the ones we're drinking, which I'm enjoying a lot. The Descent right now. Delicious.
I'm trying to be really good and just take small sips.
Yeah, yours is a much higher alcohol content than mine. So I don't know what else you have going on tonight, but you better keep it on the, ease into the evening.
That's right. I'm easing into the evening.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and have some pizza. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Let's talk a little bit about the beers besides the ones we're drinking. We already talked about Provider, which is I'm drinking, and the one that you're drinking. They make, from what I know, from what people have told me, a lot of really good IPAs at Steel Toe.
It seems like they're strong in the IPA game.
Yeah, and anybody that I talk to that loves IPAs says Steel Toe's IPAs are top notch. I'm not huge into them myself. I like them a little bit.
I like IPAs.
I know you do.
It's just how it goes.
What do you have to say about the Steel Toe IPAs, specifically the size 7, size 4, those things?
The size 7 might be one of my favorite beers. Again, it's an easy go-to that I know I'm going to enjoy whenever.
I think size 7 is one of their beers that they've won multiple awards for, if
That's
I
probably
remember
true.
correctly.
I would give them an award for it.
If you look in our video on YouTube, just the walkthrough video for Steel Toe, I did kind of scan across their awards up on the wall.
Yeah.
If you look close, maybe you'll see which ones they won them for.
I mean, again, they kind of keep things small, so they typically have 5 or 6 beers, I think, that they have all year round, and then they'll toss in a couple seasonal rotations. But they don't have, I mean, some of the places we've gone to have really lengthy beer lists, beer options.
Correct.
Steel Toe, they're keeping it simple. They're sticking with what they know. They're sticking with what's good. They typically don't have. I think a lot of the beers like we see on menus and kind of get excited about have some different flavors that we're excited about trying. They don't do a lot of that at Steel Toe. It's very straightforward beer.
Yes. I drink a lot of the Descent when they have it, the times of year that they have it. Otherwise, Provider is a really good, just regular ale that I drink on the regular. I have purchased it many times to drink at home as well. And I have had, the last time we were there, I had a full glass of the Sissel, the sour ale.
That was good.
That was very delicious. Yes.
I had that in a flight, and I also had their Sommerweiss, Hefeweizen. I think that's a seasonal one as well. That was super good.
Yes. I agree. Very wonderful beers, and you can't go wrong with beers at Steel Toe. I think people universally agree that they're good. Let's step back just a little bit to the bathroom review because I didn't finish it.
You didn't rate it.
I'm talking about the beers, which lead you to the bathroom. So I guess it's all one thing. I would rate them. So they have those two, like we said, they have those 2 back bathrooms that are individual stalls. You do have to touch the door on the way out, right? It's one of those things where there's no kick thing.
There's no kick thing. You can grab some paper towel.
Yeah,
and
you can do the paper
towel
towel
and
thing.
then
Yep.
Launch it across the room.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that. I like that they have those style of bathrooms available for people that really like their privacy when they're in a bathroom. And the other ones, though, the ones in the main room, we both thought that those bathrooms were kind of cramped.
They're tight.
They're very tight. In the men's room, there's a stall and a urinal and a sink. And when I was at the urinal, my elbows were kind of tucked in because they were touching the stall door on one side and the barrier between there and the sink on the other side. It was really cramped. And also at the sink, very cramped because the towel holder was kind of in front of it. And it made me kind of lean weird to get to the sink. Those bathrooms, you don't have to touch anything to get in or out. It's just one of those, turn a corner kind of entrances, which is great. I like that about it.
On the plus side, maybe things are intentionally small and slightly uncomfortable in there, just so you're not lollygagging in the bathroom.
Yeah, don't lollygag in the bathroom.
Don't lollygag in the
Get
bathroom.
back out there and order another beer. Absolutely. But overall, I would give their bathroom situation just a 6 out of 10. They're fine. They're clean. They were clean as far as I could tell. They're just kind of cramped and maybe not big enough even for their space, I would say.
I'm curious. I haven't been there when they have like an actual event or something going on. I'm curious if they bring in like porta potties or something to help alleviate that, because it's not, even if you have a full bar full of people, it's not a lot of stalls.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't let it stop you from going to Steel Toe. 6 out of 10 is still a decent bathroom, and it'll do the job for you.
I would rate it a little bit higher because they were exceptionally clean.
You like to rate anything higher. So That's just the way it goes. As far as the brewery itself goes, they do have a rotation of food trucks like most places do. When we were there the other day, they had the brick oven bus.
I love that thing.
Brick oven bus is always a good thing. When you go to a brewery and the brick oven bus is there, you know that you can get some good food. They make pizzas out of the back of a small yellow school bus with a brick oven built into it.
It's really, I like going into the bus.
Yeah, you have to step
It's
kind of
just
up
really
the steps
neat.
that you would get into a bus, like you're going to school. And that's where you talk to the nice guy that's in there and order your pizza. And they are fast, too. I mean, that pizza will be done 10 minutes. Usually you've got your pizzas.
He was apologizing to me saying it was going to be a wait because there were a lot of pizzas ahead of mine. And then when he told me it was going to be like 10 minutes, I thought, well,
I know.
Okay.
I think they could probably, if there was no wait, they could probably cook a pizza in a couple of minutes. That's what those brick oven things do. You know, it doesn't take a lot. It's pretty high temperature in there.
And their sauce is so good. Their toppings are so
Yes.
good.
We see some food trucks at breweries that we don't like. Yeah, okay, I don't really like that one.
Yeah,
But this one, whenever I see brick oven bus is going to be there, I know the food's going to be great.
absolutely.
But they have a rotating food trucks there, like most breweries do. So just look on their website. It usually says which one's going to be there that night. They do allow dogs at this brewery, but only outside.
On a leash outside.
Well, yes, on a leash. I think anytime you're in public, your dog should be on a leash. That's just standard protocol for anyone.
We think
to go,
that,
right?
but some other people don't necessarily.
I know they don't. I mean, if your dog's super well trained, you can probably get by without it, but most people's dogs are not quite that well trained. But nonetheless, a wonderful place to be. Excuse me. As usual, burping because I'm
Beer
drinking
burps are
beer
setting
while
in.
I'm trying to talk. Do you have any other things to say about Steel Toe before we get to the end of the episode?
They are reliable and consistent in what they do.
Yes, absolutely they are.
And I think I love them a little bit more, just kind of knowing their backstory now. And I mean, 10 years is a long time to be working toward a
really
goal.
think about something and plan it out and get the proper education and knowledge and investing and whatever else they needed to do in that amount of time to set up a brewery. And they've done a great
dedication.
job. They've done a great job with it. I can't say anything better about Descent than I've already said. It's just one of my favorite beers in the entire Twin Cities. And I hope they keep making it, and I wish they would make it all year. So if they're listening,
we're putting in a strong plug for
just start making it all year. I think people would buy it all year long. So just keep making it. We have one listener response that we got recently.
Christopher
had
emailed me about Spotted Cow. And I had kind of misread it a little bit and thought they were asking for Spotted Cow, but they were offering to send us Spotted Cow.
Isn't that nice? If anybody doesn't know, Spotted Cow is from New Glarus Brewing in Wisconsin, and it's only available in Wisconsin.
They hoard it.
And, they do.
They won't let anyone else have it.
It's only in Wisconsin. Their beers are only available in Wisconsin, and we can't
that
get it.
brewery makes a lot of other great beers too, but their distribution is only Wisconsin.
Yes, they really do make a lot of good beers at New Glarus, and we thank Christopher so much for that offer. I was recently in Wisconsin for another thing that I needed to do and stopped at a liquor store and bought not only Spotted Cow, but I bought I think it was a raspberry sour from New Glarus. It was a sour, as I remember. It was delicious. And I bought just beers from like 8 other Wisconsin breweries.
Yes.
While I was
and you
there.
shared some with me.
And I gave some of them to you. Maybe someday we'll do a Wisconsin brewery. We probably should just cross over into Hudson and do one over there.
We can definitely cross the
Why
border for
not?
that.
New Glarus is kind of far away, so we probably won't get that far, but we should cross over and do one in Wisconsin. But anyway, thank you, Christopher, for not only contacting us, but offering to send us beer. We did get some. We are pretty close to Wisconsin. If anybody looks at a map, the Twin Cities metro area in Minnesota is not very far from the border.
Not very far at all.
So we got some on our own. Anything else you want to finish up with, Courtney?
If anybody else would like to contact us, you can reach both of us, Tim at thebreweryadventure.com or Courtney at thebreweryadventure.com.
Yep.
How's that beer going?
That was the high alcohol content talking.
Woo! You can find us online at thebreweryadventure.com website. You can find us on Instagram at The Brewery Adventure or on YouTube at The Brewery Adventure. We are both also on Untapped, if you kind of like some social media for your beer drinking, where you can log what you're drinking, rate it, see what other people are drinking. We are both on that app as well.
Absolutely. And don't forget to look for that sticker in the hallway at Steel Toe and send that picture along to one of our email addresses.
Very important.
Yes. So our next episode, again, as we normally do, we do not know what brewery we're going to do next. It's another magic mystery surprise.
We have some options, but it's also, we're getting to the point where it's really nice outside.
It is so nice outside.
We're not really ready to commit to a certain brewery. We might need to do some solid adventuring to figure out what's next.
Absolutely. So we will do the hard work of drinking more beer at different breweries and figuring out what we're going to talk about next. So thanks for coming along on this episode of the Brewery Adventure. As Courtney said before, there are many ways to contact us, and please do. But until then, cheers.
Cheers.
We'll see you then. Oh, we'll hear you then. We'll see you. We'll hear you. Whatever. Bye.